Good afternoon. Today's webinar is going to be on e-commerce and how to make that easier for you. Let me go to the present. My name is Dr. Tammy Frame, and I'm from eClass for Learning, and this is my contact information, which I will send to you as well. We are using GoToWebinar today, so there is an area where you can submit questions. So feel free to do that. That always makes the webinar more interesting. I love it when we get audience questions. Or if you think of questions, if you weren't able to join us live today that you want to send to us, that's fine too. Okay, before I get into the slides, I actually want to show you 3 examples of some stores, the online stores that we've done, so you kind of have a visual of what kinds of things that we do. So here's one that has some things that you can buy, and it kind of looks like this. Some of it is are courses and some are not, so it can be both kinds of things. So that is one thing that you can do. Here is another one that we've done, and we've used the banners to kind of for each course to on the front page to highlight those courses. Then when the user goes to online courses, they go to the store, say that I want Foundations of Effective. Then from here, I could add to the course, and I have a course description. And here's another one of a website. And then if we go to courses up here, Advanced Mediation is the one that they're selling right now. And it's thinking. Okay, so here they have the course, the cost, add to cart, and then some information about it as well. Okay, so what's beautiful about the way that we put together our online stores is that once it has been purchased, users are automatically added into the course. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So I just wanted to start out with a visual of what we're talking about, and then we'll go back to the slides. So in order to sell your courses, you need 3 things that you need to have. One is you need a website to sell from. And then on that website, you need an e-commerce store, and you need a learning management system that will house and deliver the courses. And so I'm going to speak to each of those a little bit. And our solution includes all 3. We're a full solution provider, and we'll talk about each one. So we do all 3, as I mentioned, and they work together. So we're going to start out with the website. And we use WordPress for our websites. And there are some reasons why we use WordPress. It's the largest open source content management system in the world. It has great search engine optimization. Now, some LMSs, including the ones that we sell, do have the ability to sell right on the LMS itself. The problem with that is it has horrible search engine optimization. That means that search engines won't be able to find you. And if you're trying to use the internet to broaden your audience and sell to, that makes it quite hard. And so we want, WordPress has some built-in tools that will help you get higher ranking on Google and get your courses seen by more people. And if you're trying to sell, then obviously you're entrepreneurial, and the more that you can get this noticed on the web, the more sales you have the potential to make. WordPress has many great themes to choose from. And there are also many bad ones. What we do at eClass for Learning is we try to understand what it is you're trying to sell, and we give you 3 themes to choose from and that we know that work well, because a lot of them can be glitchy, and so we use 3 well-tested ones. Because WordPress is open source, that makes it inexpensive, and so the themes are very inexpensive to purchase, usually under $50, and so that helps, and there isn't like thousands of dollars in getting a really impressive look. One of the things that we like about WordPress is it has a very nice online store plugin, and you saw some of those a little bit ago, and they look very attractive and very professional. Another big reason we like it is it's compatible and has single sign-on with the learning management systems we support, and that allows that automation to appear. So once somebody pays, then they can be automatically enrolled in the course. They get their welcome email with how to log in, and they're good to go. Another thing we like about WordPress is it has lots of plugins to customize your site. Maybe you want a calendar of upcoming events. Maybe you want a banner like we saw before with the courses showing up. There's just unlimited things that there are plugins that we can add to your site to really customize it and make it work the way that you want it to. Okay, and eClass for Learning has a fairly inexpensive package to help you with this. And one thing on the WordPress side is we'll pick 3 WordPress themes for you to choose from. That saves countless hours, and then you don't pick one that's glitchy. We will add your logo and customize the selected template to match your brand colors and typography. Then we will set up 4 to 5 pages with the content and the images, and we need that provided by the client, but we'll set it up. Then we teach you how to add or make modifications to the pages on your site. We work with you to establish a baseline of on-site search engine optimization best practices. So we teach you how to use the tools on WordPress to get better rankings on the search engines. And we will also install any additional plugins that might help you in your marketing efforts. And again, as we get to know you, we can help tell you which are going to be the best ones. We will test your website to ensure that it's user-friendly, works across a variety of devices, and is free of noticeable bugs and security issues. Okay, so step 1 was the website. Once that's established enough, now we need to create the e-commerce store. So we'll talk a little bit about what's involved for that. So this is kind of a diagram of how it works. The store resides on the website. It's actually a plugin. When people purchase, they are automatically enrolled in the course in the learning management system. Their payment goes through a payment gateway. That's the payment gateway is how it accepts credit card payments, and you will have to choose a payment gateway, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then the payment gateway deposits the funds to your bank. So that's the workflow of how you get the money and of how courses get how users get put into your courses. So you will have to pick a payment gateway. That is not included in the eClass for Learning e-commerce package, okay? So you'll pick one. And what typically happens is these services will typically take a percentage of each sale, okay? And that's how they make their money. PayPal is the most common, and I put $signs to put kind of how pricey or how much they'll take of each sale. That's probably the most universal that people are used to, and it's easy to set up. A newer one is Stripe, and Stripe works well. It is less expensive than PayPal. Another one is authorized.net. When you get into specific things that you need, let's say you need it to authenticate against a database, or maybe it branches. If they answer this, then this happens. Maybe they apply a coupon, those kinds of things. Then you're going to need a payment gateway that has a little more functionality and customability to it. So authorized.net is a good one. Course Merchant, by far, they have a programming staff that will work with you and probably can do the most, but it is also the most expensive as well. So if you have very unique needs for your store, sometimes we might recommend that you look at authorized.net or Course Merchant. If it's a fairly standard, straightforward purchase, then PayPal or Stripe are two that I would recommend. Okay, some things that you need to consider that we would ask you early on that might cause us to have to customize a little bit and might cause us to work towards authorized.net or so on, is if you're going to need discount codes, are you going to have group registrations? And do you need to authenticate that somebody's a member against, let's say, a member database, and it's going to have to go somewhere and check that out? Those would be maybe some more advanced things. We have done all of those things, but they just take a little bit more effort. So we'd want to know that up front when we start exploring your project with you and uncover those things. So what eClass for Learning's eCommerce standard package would include is we'll set up the URL of your choice for you. We will install the selected eCommerce platform, and we will establish the required platform connections with the LMS. We'll help you choose the best payment gateway for your purposes. We will add up to 5 initial products or courses for you, and then we're going to teach you how to add your own products and courses, so you're not dependent on us to do that for you all the time. We will install an SSL certificate, and that is for additional security, especially when there are credit card payments. You absolutely need that. And we will install any plugins that we need to connect to your payment gateway. So that's what we'll do. And then the last component of this is the learning management system. That's where the courses are housed. When I say management system, what's nice about that is it does give you, it does manage the learning. And so learning management systems at a minimum require a login, and then that's login is required so that it can track users and their progress in a course. It produces reports for you, and it can issue certificates of completion. So those are some common things that a learning management system would do. And eClass for Learning supports 3 different kinds of learning management systems. So the first one is LearnDash. That's a very simplistic LMS. If you have basic pages of content, quizzes, and a certificate, this is a really good LMS for you. It does not support SCORM packages. SCORM packages are sort of like multimedia movies. They might be made in Adobe, Captivate, Articulate Storyline, and then they're packaged to work in the LMS. Unfortunately, LearnDash does not read those. I think LearnDash is one of the best LMSs visually, and it's really good for simple compliance courses. There is a small annual subscription, but you do have to host it somewhere, and eClass for Learning does host your learning management software, and it's probably the easiest to learn how to use. Okay, so from the admin perspective, it's very simple, very easy to use. The next one up is Moodle. And one of the things that's nice about Moodle is it's very flexible and interoperable. That means it connects to other systems really well. So if you do have to connect to that member database, it's going to work really well for that. It will interact well with the other payment gateways and so on. Moodle has the best assessment options and the most robust quizzing platform of LMSs out there. And I do think it's the best LMS for educational institutions. It's really built to be a learning platform for more education settings. Moodle in itself is open source and it is free. But again, you have to host that software somewhere, and you have to have somebody that is really good at maintaining it. I think it works best in a Linux environment, which is what we use, and we can do all the upgrades and all of the maintenance of it for you. Because Moodle has so many features to it, it is a little bit more difficult to use. And eClass for Learning does a phenomenal job of onboarding and support, and we do have an onboarding and support package as part of this, and we will teach you how to use it, but it will take you a little bit more time. Tatara is our third one. It's actually based on the Moodle platform, but it's made for corporations, and it includes human resource functionality. So things like 360-degree feedback, personalized learning plans, the ability for managers to have a dashboard and track how their group of employees are doing. It does have the ability to dynamically build reports, which is so cool. So basically things that are in the database, without having to know any coding or anything, you can pull down or use radio buttons to select and create your own reports on the fly. It has personalized learning plans that it tracks. It has much better tracking than Moodle. So, you know, I can run reports and track competencies, and if employees met those competencies through all of the learning that they have, for example. It can be mapped to your organizational structure. So that means if you have groups in your organization, we can add those groups in. Let's say you have the Northwest region and the Southeast region. You can push out learning to either of everybody in those regions. You could push it out to specific positions, all kinds of different ways that reports and learning can be structured and pushed out. It is a little more expensive. It does have an annual subscription based on the number of users. It is still very cost-effective compared to most corporate LMSs on the market. Because there's a lot to do with mapping your organization, with setting up your reporting structure, and so on. This is probably the most difficult LMS to learn, but again, we do a phenomenal job of onboarding, supporting you, and setting up the system to meet your organizational goals and needs. eClass for Learning's package includes will help you choose the best learning management system for your purposes. We can host it, and we can do that month to month. I think that we are the only hosting company that would do this, but we can look at your previous month's usage, like the number of unique users that logged in, and bill you for that rate. And that really helps small businesses and nonprofits, because then you're kind of scaling with how many people you've sold the class to and how much revenue you have coming in. So if you have a month that's pretty quiet, you're billed very little. If you have a month where lots of users have paid to take the course and you have more revenue, then your hosting costs will go up too. So it scales up and down as your revenue stream does. We will set up the URL of your choice for the learning management system. We will match the look and feel of the WordPress site to your LMS, so it's kind of a seamless experience. The user may not realize with single sign-on that they've gone from one to the other. And we'll teach you how to create courses and add content to your learning management system. So some final things about eClass for Learning and how we've made this very simple for you. We are a full solution provider, which is unique. Most other people are good at one thing. So you might have a company that's good at building e-commerce solutions, but maybe not building websites or have a linkage to a learning management system. We can scale with you, so as you have more users, our costs go up, but as those times when you have fewer users, they go down. It's very cost effective compared to other things on the market, and we're very quick. Usually it takes 6 weeks to get this all set up. We excel at working with non-techie clients and training you. We are experts in the LAMP architecture, and that's what our learning management systems work on. That's what WordPress works on and what the store works on. So you do need to understand things like Linux, PHP, and we have technicians that are experts in that and can troubleshoot and quickly put things together for you. We can customize the platforms to your needs. We have instructional designers on staff that can help you. And we can help you create the courses too. So we really can help you go from ground zero to putting your courses online, and we do have everything that you need. We can do it fairly quickly and fairly inexpensively. So for next steps, if you're interested in learning more, you might want to request a demo. You could request a free consultation and let us know kind of what your goals are and what you're trying to do, and we can help direct you to what we think would be a good LMS for you, what would be a good payment gateway, what are some good themes for you. You can request a proposal, and once we've kind of had the consult, we can give you a proposal of how much it would cost to make an online store. So we look forward to hearing from many of you and moving forward on the next steps. And thanks for joining us today.